Okay, let's see. We should be streaming now. Ideally, that's what would be happening. Okay, all right. Well, sometimes you just have to try things more than once to make them happen. So, we're here to do a live stream. My name's Amista. We're going to do a little bit of Reiki. We're going to do a little bit of tarot. And we're going to do a little chit chat. I'm going to catch up with some of my regular people. We're going to meet some new people. We're going to have fun like that. So, this is going to be interesting because we've had a false start that showed up. I don't know if people get notifications when you go live again this quickly. So we'll see who actually does show up for this. I did already clear one tarot deck and my Lenormand deck that I like to use to clarify. I'm just clearing this just in case, and also doing something like this gives people a chance to actually come into the room, which is always nice. So we'll see what happens here. We shall see what happens here. What happens here? All right. At least I'm showing up. That's a good thing. That's a good start, right? All right, guys. So I've got all the cards, all the decks cleared that I want to clear. I do want to make sure that I can see any kind of chat that comes in. So give me just a second here. And there it is. Okay. All right, there. Now I can see the chat box better. That makes me muy feliz. All right. Okay, so we've got cards cleared. Let's go ahead and go on into Reiki. We'll see if anybody shows up. That would be nice while we're doing Reiki. If you want to watch this Reiki later on, you absolutely can do that. What just happened to what I was looking at? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. I'm not sure why this has to be so difficult to be able to see my chart. Do 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 do. Okay, we're going to do this for chat then. Thank you very much. I think that's going to work a lot better. All right. Okay, so now let's focus on actually what we're doing here today. We're going to start off with some Reiki. And so I am setting the Reiki intention for whatever's for the highest and best good of everyone who shows up in this room today or who finds this video later. If you have something more specific that you would like the Reiki to focus on, feel free to go ahead and set that intention. You can either put that in the chat or you can speak that intention privately to yourself or even speak it in your head if you have people around you. Spirit will hear. Okay, so we're starting at 21 after. That means we're going to be finishing up at 26 after for the Reiki. Okay. We're just doing Reiki for a few more minutes. Actually, 4 more minutes. If you have something you would like the Reiki to help you with, feel free to go ahead and set that intention. Otherwise, I've already set it for whatever's for your highest and best good. We've definitely got a lot of Reiki going out to help people be calm. Just in general. And also I'm noticing I'm having a hard time placing it in the body, but there's some kind of actual physical healing is what this energy feels like to me, and it's going out to, I'm going to say, the mid part of the body, somewhere in the torso. In that part of the body, basically from where the shoulder bones stop all the way down, it's where the hip bones start, is where I'm feeling that energy going out. And it's interesting because it makes me wonder if somebody doesn't have a pet right next to them that's grabbing some healing energy as well. How many more minutes? We have 2 more minutes left on the Reiki. And 1 more minute. All right, let's wrap up the Reiki. Those of you who would like me to do a little reading for you, go ahead and put that in the chat. If you have a question, put the question in chat. If you just want a message from Sacred Spirit, put message from Spirit in chat. And also say hi. Let me know who's in the room with me. Who's in the room with me today? First thing we're going to look at in the meanwhile on the tarot cards is what is our best manifestation advice over the next 24 hours? Hello there, Miss Elizabeth. Of course you can. Let me get this hair away from my cards. That's almost as bad as having a hair in your mouth, you know? All right, so first message we're going to do is manifestation advice, and that's going to be good for anybody and everybody who is here now and who finds this video later. So manifestation advice over the next 24 hours, what is the next step towards creating the manifestation that we're working on in our lives? Let's take a peek. Best manifestation advice for my people today and myself. Boobity doo doo, doobity doo doo, boobity doo doo. Okay, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. We have Le Pape, or the Pope, the Hierophant, as we would traditionally call it, and the King of Swords in reverse. So, Eight of Pentacles, manifestation advice. Work on it. Put the effort in. Also, Eight of Pentacles can be about studying the work, making sure that we know the best way to do the work. So this could be learning about how to do the work that we do better, or just working on our work. This can be practicing our work, as in I have a psychic practice. So practice, practice, practice makes perfect. So it could be something like that for somebody out there as well. With the Hierophant, this says stay committed to the work. Be committed to this. The Hierophant is a card that doesn't talk about commitment just a little bit, un poco. It talks about commitment that is long-term, commitment that we are moving into, that we're growing into. So, hey, Mary, glad to see you. So this says, with whatever this is that we're trying to manifest, work on it and be committed to working on it. Like, commit to it. We're making that decision that we are working on this and we are moving forward with this. And this is long term. This is way longer than just today. This is stay committed to the work, basically. And the King of Swords. This is interesting. This basically says, keep your secrets. Whatever are your goals that you're shooting for, not everybody needs to know those. What are you trying to accomplish? Doesn't need to be shared with everybody. You just need to be very clear in your own mind. That King of Swords, he's really great at making a strategy, making a plan. And he's also really good at following up on the plan. When he comes up in reverse, he's being quiet. He's not sharing a lot of information. So this basically says, let's work on whatever this is that we want to manifest. Let's be really committed to continuing that work until we get to the goal. Let's not share the goal with everybody. We don't need to share the goal with everybody. We've got our plan. Make our plan if we don't have our plan about what we're shooting for. But then that doesn't need to be told to everybody. That's our manifestation advice today. Make the plan, but zip the lips and just do the work. Just do the thing. You don't have to tell everybody you're doing the thing. Just do the thing. So that's our manifestation advice today. Interesting, interesting. So let's see. I need to make a list here. Need to make a list of people. People. All right, so we have Elizabeth. S. No question, just a message. And Mary. Also. Let's try that again. Message from Spirit. Okay. Let's take care of some business. Take care of some business. You guys know if you want a private reading with me, all you have to do is check out the website to do that. I actually have a new scheduling function that I'm really excited about and proud of. I need people to check it out. We need to make sure it works. All right. And if you go into the scheduling function and you don't find a time that works for you, then just reach out to me directly and we'll find something that works for both of us. All right. So let's see here. Elizabeth, message from Spirit. Let's see what shows up. Mary, be looking out for a piggyback. What do we have? Okay. Oh, we're starting with the Joker. I like it. He looks like the Joker. It's actually the Fool. But I do like him. He is kind of the court jester, basically, in the tarot. Do, 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 do. Some tarots kind of make him look like the Pied Piper. He's the one that can make everybody laugh, can get people to follow him while he's being silly. So let's see, what do we have here? Now, whenever this card shows up, he's more than just the jester, but he does talk about keeping the energy light, not taking things too seriously. Nothing's happening here that's too serious. Okay, so we've got the jester, we've got the Five of Pentacles. So this basically says, I keep getting jester instead of the fool with this guy. So funny. So I think the emphasis really is on keeping things light, but also the fool is a leap of faith. So keep things light as you do your leap of faith. You want to keep your vibration up, 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 up as you're doing this leap of faith. Okay? Now, why are you doing a leap of faith? You're doing a leap of faith, Miss Elizabeth, because you're feeling like you wish you had some more resources. You're feeling like resources are tighter than you want to be, than you want them to be. So this basically says, I'm kind of tightening up my belt a little bit on my resources, just trying to make things last. I'm pinching my pennies and stretching my dollars. Okay, now let's look at your best advice or heads up around this. By the way, what sign are you, Elizabeth? Just curious. Best advice or heads up around this. Look at this. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which talks about making sure that the budget works. So this is doing what we need to do to bring in the money, honey. All right, taking care of business, going to work. Now, the Knight is my only Knight in the cards that is always, always, always successful. You're Sagittarius. So you're right next door to Scorpio. That's interesting. Okay. This has been a Scorpio energy. That's why I wondered. So Knight of Pentacles says taking care of business, doing what I have to bring the money in, making sure I'm not doing any kind of crazy spending. I'm not doing any splurging, being very careful about that budget. Basically, that Knight of Pentacles is. Now, he's my only successful knight, but he does work slow. He's methodical. He's thorough. He makes sure that the foundation on whatever he's doing is set correctly. He doesn't want to have to come in and redo. Think, measure 3 times and cut once. That's going to be your Knight of Pentacles here. So this talks about being very careful, making sure that the budget works. All right, Alicia, welcome. Now, next card that we have coming up for advice or insight, we have this. Here's my Knight of Swords coming up in reverse. I think that there has been some decisions that were made in the past that maybe weren't made with full information. Maybe you didn't have full information. And I think that these decisions are what's impacted the idea that you're in a space now where you're having to tighten the belt a little bit. Okay? So part of this moving forward very thoroughly is finding those mistakes, if you haven't already, and figuring out, what do I do about those types of decisions? How do I handle those similar situations when they come up in the future? What can I do to create more stability so that something like this is not something that happens, or is not something that throws me off when it does happen? Okay. And then we have the Emperor coming up in reverse. You know what this tells me? This tells me that this decision may have been a little bit forced on you by somebody who has strong narcissistic tendencies. And so we're still looking at what can we do the next time we're in this situation so that we don't let this impact to where we have to tighten up on our resources. And it may be that we've got this person here that's kind of our wild card. This person with the strong narcissistic tendencies that sort of pushed you into a rash decision. I shouldn't say pushed you, because we're all responsible for our own decisions. But they might have done something that made you feel like your back was against the wall and you had to do a certain thing with your finances. And you might have even known at the time, this is a little iffy, man. This is shaky. So it's really time to game plan. What are we going to do about when this wild card person tries to put me in that situation again? How am I going to handle that the next time around? Because it's quite obvious that this is not the kind of results that you want to be dealing with after somebody pushes you into a situation like that. You don't want to be pushed into a situation like this. So I think that's really your advice here. And I would actually, if you know who this is, even if you don't, I would love to do a reading for you and we can see, okay, what is the best way to handle this person, this wild card? Is it good to like completely switch jobs if it's a boss? Is it good to, is there certain verbiage that I can use with this person that calms their silly self down? You know, or if this is somebody that is like a baby daddy or somebody that is a romantic interest, what do we do so that we are not finding ourselves in this situation where we're giving more than the resources that is easy for us to turn loose of? So we could definitely look at that in a live reading, and I would love to do that for you. It's a boss. Yeah. Yeah. It looks like they are definitely making some financial impact. You're doing everything you can do to make your budget work. They're our wild card. So I would love to do a reading so we can figure out what to do about this wild card. Do we find a new job? Do we handle that person better? Do we stand up for ourselves more? Does that even work? Yep. Oh, goody, goody. So somebody gets to check out my new scheduling system. So excited. So far, I've had one person use it and it mostly works. I wish it did something else, but I think it mostly works. But if you get in there and you go to schedule and you can't find a time that you need, then just text me. We'll set up something that works for both of us. Right there, what I have on my scheduling system is kind of my wish list. I don't know if you've ever been in the military, but you know how good wish lists really are from that experience. You're quite welcome. Divine timing. Hello, hello. Good morning, Ms. Rhoda. Did you go back and hear your message yesterday? So I need to add somebody to the list. We've got Elizabeth taken care of. Next, we're going to be looking at Mary. And then after that, we have Alicia came in and asked. Guys, don't forget to share this video. I am seriously trying to get more and more and more subscribers. I am on a subscriber push. Push. Push, we're having that baby now. So don't forget to share the video. Other people are going to need me to read for them. Share the goodness, share the wealth, share the abundance. You're quite welcome, Miss Elizabeth, if I didn't already say that. Ms. Rhoda, Ms. Rhoda. Did you go back yesterday? You haven't told me yet. Mary, Mary. Okay, so this is for Mary. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. Mary, are you still in the room, my friend? Mary, Mary. All right. Jackie, hey, hey, hey. Look at you. Yes, I am alive, and you are too. Alive and breathing. We've started the day off right, correct? All right, Mary. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. Oh, look what we have on the bottom. Justice. Woo, woo. Let's see, that's a major. All right, Ms. Mary. What do we have? Boopity doo doo doo. I don't know if that bottom counts because I always pull my advice off the bottom. So we kind of knew that was there already. Let's see what the real bottom is now that we're done with it. Oh, there's another major. We've got some surprising majors. What is on the bottom now, I wonder? Oh, lovers. Maybe I should put this here. Lovers on the bottom. All right, so I'm going to say that this has to do with some kind of relationship, or maybe even a partnership. Doesn't have to be romantic, but could be. Could also be a business partnership or a family member or something like that. Okay. So, what do we have? Let's look here. Situation Spirit wants to talk to you about this Ace of Wands and the Moon in reverse. Excuse me. Is this what I think it is? Okay, that's good. Oh, I see what's happening here. Now I get it, Mary. So the moon is talking to me about glad you were in the room. The moon is talking to me about this idea that you have some kind of belief or programming coming up from your subconscious mind and impacting your life because it's time for you to deal with it. Basically, it's time for you to deactivate whatever this is. You know, if it's old programming, it's time to reprogram. If it's an old trigger, it's time to deactivate that trigger. But there's something coming out from your subconscious that's actually impacting your life. And the way it's impacting your life shows up here with this Ace of Wands in reverse. It's making you feel like you don't have energy to give. You know, it's making you feel like you're just low in energy. You're feeling very apathetic. Is the Ace of Wands for me. There's a strong feeling of apathy because of whatever this is coming up. It's coming up out of your subconscious and it's impacting how you're feeling about something. Well, we've got the Lovers over here on the bottom. It's how you're feeling about a particular relationship, maybe relationships in general, but probably a particular relationship. And so you have some self-work to do to come if you're going to come out of this apathy. And you may be in the apathy because you may be trying to not acknowledge some kind of feelings that you have. Maybe you're afraid of the feelings that you have. So your subconscious may be telling you, well, the best way to deal with feelings that we're afraid of is to just numb them out, whether we're numbing them out at an energetic level or whether we're, drinking or popping pills or smoking the doobie or whatever, numbing out these feelings. But whatever's happening here, it's making you feel very low energy, a lot of apathy around whatever this relationship or this group of relationships is in your life. Okay? Now, and I'm not saying that you do any of those escapist type behaviors, but a lot of people do. That's kind of the first reaction when something comes up from the subconscious for us to deal with. We're like, oh, no, 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 no. Well, why was it in the subconscious to start with? It was in the subconscious because we couldn't deal with it on a conscious level to begin with. All right. So a lot of people, when that first comes up, the first thing they go to is some kind of escapist behavior. And then they can kind of recalibrate and come back down into a space where they can handle this. So that may be what's going on. Either way, you're not having a lot of energy towards this relationship because of some kind of subconscious programming from the past. Now that we've got that beat to death, and I think I've explained it, I hope I've explained it well enough. Let's look at your best advice or heads up. Wow. First of all, whatever this is that happened in the past that caused the subconscious programming, that did it by putting fear into you. Whatever this is that happened made you very fearful. And so you're going with the apathy because you are fearful about something around this relationship. Something has you triggered. Business relationship, friendship, romantic relationship, I don't know. But something has you triggered around this. And you're reacting out of fear. because that's what the programming is that you get afraid because of whatever this was that happened in the past. You're afraid of something going on in this relationship, or maybe just relationships in general. Now, we have Justice card. I'm going to go backwards. Justice card. This is basically like I kind of want to hug you. I wish you were in front of me right now because I kind of want to hug you and tell you this. What I want to say here with this card is whatever this was that happened, that put this imprint here on your subconscious, it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair and it wasn't right. Okay? And when we have something that happens to us when we're younger that's not fair or not right, sometimes it takes us realizing, wait a second, I'm not in that same vulnerable position I used to be in. Like if it happens to us when we're really young, we have to remember, wait a second, I'm a grown-up now. I control the situations that I get into, and I am capable of getting myself out of situations if they look like they're going south. And so just because this thing happened in the past that caused all this fear doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to happen again. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to let it happen again because I don't have to. I don't have to. I'm a grown up now. I can leave. I can walk away. I can drive away. Whatever. All right? But whatever this is that happened in the past, it was not fair to you. With this Six of Swords coming up in reverse, this talks about it's time to make a lifestyle change. Because this fear has been running you. And it's not a happiness making thing. So where the fear's been running you, it's been running some of your decisions. That fear that maybe protected you when you were a child and kept you away from situations that were bad, that fear now is protecting you so dang well you can't even get into a situation that's good when it comes to a partner because you're so afraid that if you touch that situation, you're going to get your hand burnt or worse. So it's time for a lifestyle change where you're not letting this fear run you anymore. The subconscious thing that is coming up for you to heal it so that you can have a lifestyle change because this was not fair. And everything that it's set in motion since then has not been fair with this fear that's in you. So it's time to really just take a look and deconstruct this fear and recognize that you're in a completely different place now and that those same things don't have to happen anymore. And it's okay to explore a partnership more because you know that if the partnership starts to go south, you can leave. You can leave. Okay? Well, there are piggybacks. Piggybacks are a thing, right? All right, so that was for M. Gardner. Sounds like we need a group hug. Sometimes I really do wish that we were all in the same room. Okay, so boo-ba-doo-doo. Next up is Alicia. Bum, 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 bum. Who else asked for a message? Let's take a peek. After Alicia, Divine Timing, did you want a message, anybody? Elizabeth, I'm looking forward to reading with you. Jackie, did you want a message? Rhonda. I like how you put that, Rhonda. Any other messages from Spirit for you? Okay, so, wow, you guys can read my scrap paper on this, can't you? Okay, so Alicia's next. After that, we've got Rhonda. Anybody else who has a question or who wants a message, you're going to have to put it in the chat. Guys, don't forget to share this video around. I am definitely on a subscriber push. Let's get more subscribers to this channel. The more people I get to help, the happier that I am. All right. Alicia, Alicia, Alicia. What do we have, Alicia? M. Gardner went totally silent on me there. I hope I didn't offend her. Let's see. Alicia. Or she's crying. I hope she's not crying. Alicia. Boo-ba-doo. Thank you for the hearts, guys. I appreciate that. All righty. All righty. What is on the bottom here? 10 of Cups. Happiness. Happiness. Usually I don't do the bottoms, but you know what? Like on the camera, I can see the bottom of the deck anyway. Half the time when I'm holding it, we may as well use them, right? Okay, so 10 of Cups is going to talk about coming to some kind of goal or target that has to do with happiness. So doing something that makes us feel happy. You're quite welcome. Are you okay, honey bunny? I know there's a delay whenever I do this 2-camera thing, so I may as well chill out and wait. I'm glad it makes sense. Okay, so, excuse me. Jackie, how do you spell your name? Yeah. All right, and divine timing. So, Rhoda. We have a Rhonda and we have a Rhoda. No worries, Rhoda. Okay, so this one's Alicia. Okay, talking about reaching some kind of target whenever it comes to happiness. Happiness. And happiness with others too. This can be with family or somebody else. 9 of Cups is our own personal independent happiness. This is happiness that involves other people as well. Look at this. Oh, I love your starter. Look at that. We have the star and we have the 9 of Swords in reverse. Look at this. Hope. There is hope for you to reach whatever target this is that you have towards happiness. And with that 9 of Swords in reverse, that hope is helping you to relax, to stop stressing out about it as much as maybe you were before. I like it already. Oh my goodness, I haven't even really checked the other cards yet, but I like it already so far. Let's look at this. What? Okay, well, this has to be a word of encouragement here. I'm going to tell you, when I look at this, there is hope about being able to chill out and relax because there is some target or goal that has to do with happiness that's not only involving you, but also other people. Here's the thing. To get to this target or goal, man, I don't even like saying this message, but to get to that target or goal is going to take some effort, actually, and some disappointment. I mean, this is my get ready card. My 9 of Wands is get ready, making preparations. This is the warrior that's been through a lot and they're getting ready for the next battle. It ain't over. All right, so this is making preparations, getting ready for something. Well, what are we getting ready for? Well, we're getting ready for the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is something that's disappointing. Okay, well, we've got all this hope here. We're actually able to chill out because we've got all this hope here for reaching this new level of happiness. But Spirit's saying your advice or your heads up, get ready for some kind of disappointment before you get the payoff. And the payoff is this level of happiness. So this is almost saying to me, let's remember that the 10 of Cups is happiness with more than one person. It's not just your happiness. It could be with one other person, or it could be with a group. It could be with a family. Whatever's going on here, it feels to me like to get to this happiness, there's something you kind of have to go through that actually increases the bond between you and whoever these other people are. And then once that bond is increased, that's when you can get to this level of happiness. But right now, there's still some glue that needs to happen in the mix here that wouldn't happen unless there was some kind of fracture. All right? So that's what I've got. I think this is a message of encouragement because it basically is saying, get ready because there's a little bit of choppy water coming up, but there is the payoff at the end. That hope is not misplaced. There is an upleveling to the happiness that you're looking for. It may not feel like that as you're going through this process. Okay? But rest assured, happiness is on its way. Happiness hit her like a train on a track. So happiness is assured. That's a Florence and Machine song. Dog Days Are Over. You should look that up. It might help you. There are some parts of it that don't make sense, but there are some parts that I think are applicable. All right, so Rhonda, you're up next. Who's in the batter's box? Working on 2 large research papers. Boobity-doo-doo-doo. Oh, well, you'll be very happy when they're done, won't you? It looks like you're just relaxing as you do them. Do they have to do with anything with the video that you sent me the other day? Look at that, 5 of Wands. Creativity. And I'm asking her about a video. She sent me a video that was a art video, which I never even had heard of an art video before, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I won't say I'm dumb. I just hadn't been exposed to that before. So we had the 5 of Wands show up when I asked her if it had to do with that video. So that's 5 of Wands is very creative. Rhonda. It does not. Okay. Rhonda. Last message from Spirit for Rhonda. How long have I been here? Long time. Okay. Okay, so after Rhonda, I'm doing Jackie. After Jackie, I'm doing Rhoda, and then we're cutting it off. But you guys still share the video because if other people see this and they know that they would like to come in and get free readings, maybe they will subscribe. So please share the video. Rhonda, what do we have here? Ace of Pentacles. And the Knight of Swords. Ace of Pentacles is in reverse. Oh, interesting. You're giving somebody a gift. What is this? What is this? Interesting. Let's see what's on the bottom here for you. Ace of Wands. Which way would that have been? I guess it would have been this way. Okay, so Ace of Wands in reverse on the bottom. This talks about, once again, apathy, not feeling very inspired, just doing something because we know we have to do it. You're giving a gift to somebody who's very logical. This could even be a student, somebody who's studying. This is somebody who's very detail-oriented. They're a little bit less mature than like the King of Swords would be. Does not mean they're necessarily younger. I have seen less mature people at my age or older that show up as knights or as pages sometimes. But this is somebody who does pay attention to detail, highly intelligent type person. and you're giving some kind of gift to them. Best advice or heads up. Maybe I should say best advice or insight around this situation. First of all, I'm going to say I think this lack of energy is theirs. And I think they have a lack of energy because they've had a big shakeup in their life. And this is interesting. I think you're trying to help them come into some kind of calmer place, come out of choppy waters or rough waters. You're trying to help them get into some kind of calmer place because I think you're worried about them because of their lack of energy after this shakeup. So you're trying to help them get into some kind of calmer place where they can actually get more in touch with their spiritual selves and rejuvenate a little bit. And so the moon talks about things going on behind the scenes, things that we don't know about. I think this gift that you're giving this person, you're probably doing it in secret. I don't know if this person actually knows about it or if you're giving this somehow anonymously. But what I do see here is the idea of definitely not a lot of people know that you're giving this person this gift. You may be giving this person this gift and saying, "Mum's the word, man. Be quiet. Don't tell. Don't tell anybody else. Don't tell your brothers and sisters. Don't tell your cousins." But whatever this is where you're giving them a gift, I feel like you're looking at it because they really need it right now to help them deal with whatever this is, to help them find a calmer space. That's what I've got going on there. But you're doing it in secret. You're not telling everybody about it. All right, so that was Rhonda. Boop-a-da-doo-doo. Secrets are kind of becoming a thing lately. They've been a theme. Hakeem the Dream. Good morning to you. Welcome. You're quite welcome. Look at that big smile. Did I hit it? Teresa White. Hello. I would love to add you, but I've already been here an hour, so I'm just taking the last 2 people that are on my list and reading for them. But if you want to subscribe and catch me the next time, feel free to do that. Also, I do private readings. If you need a full-blown reading, you can check out my website about all of that too. But definitely subscribe so that you can catch me sometime and check me out in person for yourself. Okay, so Jackie M. Jacqueline, actually. Jacqueline's such a pretty name. Best message for Jacqueline. Everybody else be looking out for piggyback messages, those messages that ride on the backs of somebody else's message that still manage to help you. Spirit knows how to do those things. Does them all the time in my room. You are giving a gift in secret, so you got to piggyback. Aww. Very cool, Alicia. Rhonda says, yup. Okay, excellent. I know you're already subscribed, Teresa. And I appreciate you coming in and being a moderator when I need a moderator. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's see. Jackie. What am I doing? I'm almost putting down 3. Let's put down 3. What does Spirit want to say to you? And we're putting 2 at the bottom. Okay. Whatever you say, Spirit. You're the boss. You be the boss. I'm just the vessel. I think everybody here is subscribed except for maybe Hakeem. I don't know if Hakeem is subscribed or not. If he's not, he should be. Because he's going to want to catch one of these readings. All right. I'm not cocky or anything, am I? So, who is this again? This is Jacqueline. Okay, so you have the Queen of Wands showing up in reverse. 10 of Pentacles showing up in reverse. And the Eight of Wands showing up in reverse. Now, this is interesting. Here's the thing, Jackie. I think that you're not getting to do as much of the creative type of work that you really like to do because the orders just kind of haven't been coming in. And so, what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing you pouring out a lot of money or also a lot of energy and effort towards getting those orders to come back in. And I don't know if this is like your side gig, if this is your real deal everyday thing, like what I do, real deal everyday thing right here sitting in front of you. Yeah, what's on the bottom of the deck too? Five of Wands. Yeah, competitiveness, being competitive. Very cool. A lot of admiration for her. So, yeah, you're just trying to be competitive. You're trying to be out there and let people know that you exist, that you do your thing. Like I said, I'm not sure if this is a sideline thing or if this is your real deal, like your full-time thing. Now, what's our best advice or our insight around this? First of all, let me tell you, before I move on to that, this Eight of Wands, for me, this is always temporary. This is a good time to catch up on anything that got behind whenever we were busy. Or if this is just you just putting yourself out for the first time, then this is a good time while it's not busy to make sure all your ducks are in a row and you're ready. Okay? Now, Four of Swords coming up here. I'm going to say your advice is wherever you're advertising or wherever you're promoting yourself, you want to change your location. This is not doing it in the location you're using now and someplace else. This is switching locations so that you can have more conversations, so that you can have more people show up that want to talk to you about what you do and figure out if you're a good fit for them. But I would say wherever you're putting your promotions right now isn't working. If you're not putting promotions out right now, obviously not working. That would be get off your bootay and get some promotions out there so that you can start having those conversations with potential clients. Okay. And I'm reading this totally as a career reading. I guess you could also look at it romantically too. Like maybe you haven't got as much romantic interest as you would like. And so now you're putting yourself out there on the social media. That could be another way that this is manifesting. And if we want to look at it in an even more micro way, this could be you feeling down and out because you're putting out a lot of energy to somebody who doesn't have that much to say to you. This would still say, talk to somebody else and put the energy elsewhere so that you can start having conversations with somebody. Probably not the same one that you were trying to talk to before. So there's a few different ways that this can play out. But I got to tell you, honestly, like the first thing that hit me has to do with being competitive whenever it comes to career or a sideline business that you have something to do with some kind of work or a gig. Hope that makes sense for you, honey. All right. Let's see. We've got one more person here. This is Rhoda. You're next, my friend. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. Piggyback, piggyback. What do we have? I'm getting hungry. Who else in this room is hungry right now? Because I'm not normally hungry this early, which makes me wonder if I'm not picking up how somebody's feeling that's in this room. Rhoda, 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 Rhoda. Rhoda, Rhoda, Rhoda. Maybe it's because I'm doing your cards right now. Because man, it just hit me when I picked up cards and started shuffling for you. Anybody else in the room hungry? Lisa is. That's funny. All right. What do we have here? Rhoda. Lordy, talking to a wall. All right, and what's on the back of the deck? Underemployed and would like to be doing more. Okay, so that's about resumes. You want to start putting your resumes out in different locations than what you have already. So if you've already been putting out resumes, this says keep on doing it, but expand your box. Wherever you've been putting out resumes, expand your box. Try putting out resumes in some other places as well, places that you haven't been considering so far. All right. I also got the sense from that even having those conversations, maybe getting those interviews is going to make you feel a little bit better and a little bit more energized than what has been happening. You're quite welcome. Try to do something also. I'm just going to say, try to do something with your vibration too, because it shows that you're in kind of a rough vibration around this. So, even if you just have to dance, make yourself dance for like 5 minutes a day to raise your vibration, whatever it takes, It's always such a sacrifice to be happy, right? Eagle, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you here, my dear. I'm doing my last reading for the person for this live stream, but don't forget to put a thumbs up, those of you who benefited from this and who would like other people to be able to find out about me. That is always very supportive. Divyanasha Mishra, welcome, welcome. Honey, if you're not subscribed to me, you want to subscribe. I'm getting ready to walk out the door after I do this last reading, and you want to be able to catch me next time I go live. So I would say subscribe. I do upload videos as well, but I also go live pretty regular. Let's see. Rhoda. This is interesting. So overall energy, we have the Page of Wands showing up in reverse on the bottom of the deck. This talks about somebody saying that they're not on board with you for some kind of idea that you have. Okay, this is just somebody not given a green light. So this can be a loan officer if you want to buy something. If you're fixing to go on a trip with a friend, this can be somebody saying, I don't want to go on that trip, or I don't have the money, or I don't have the time, whatever it is. They're not giving the green light. Okay. So we've got somebody showing up who's not giving the green light as our overall energy here. And we have the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Well, the nine, and they're both in reverse. That Nine of Cups tells me that you're feeling restless to expand and to do something that feels satisfying and fulfilling to you. You recognize that there's more that you could be offering the world in some way or another. And I'm going to say it has to do with communication. It has to do with passing along some kind of good information or good advice. But with this restlessness to do that, that restlessness is there because you're feeling limited or restricted in how much you can actually do that. Okay? This could be that you want a promotion at work because you want to be the training coordinator with all this passing along good advice, and somebody's giving you the red light on that. They're saying, no, that's not happening. Could be a lot of things how this could come out, but basically, you're antsy to offer more to the world, and you've got one person who's giving you the red light. We don't care. It's just one person, whatever. There's a zillion and one other people that could come on board instead of this sour boots. Okay? Now, all right, that makes sense. Now, here's the thing. Let's look at our best advice or insight. First of all, we have the Death card coming up in reverse. This says hold your ground, stand your ground. Don't change anything. That's what the death card says in reverse. When the death card's right side up, we're making some big transformations starting from the inside, working their way out to the rest of the world. When the death card comes up in reverse, this is we're not changing anything, buddy. We're digging our heels in. Not changing jack. Okay. 7 of Wands, keep your standards. Keep your standards. So if somebody's been trying to say to you, listen, maybe you can buy less of a car at a higher interest rate or whatever they've been saying to you, keep your standards. I feel like you have the minimum standards that need to be for your car already. And Spirit's saying, keep your standards. Don't change the standards that you have about the car that you're looking for. Okay? And what do we have here? We have the 4 of Wands. Well, the 4 of Wands is somebody coming into the nest card. So this means the car becomes basically part of the family. If you're like me, a car becomes part of the family. I name my cars. So I think you keep your standards. You don't change a thing. You keep your standards, and you end up bringing a car that the family can use or that the tribe can use. So, yes, you're restless to be able to talk to somebody who's going to give you the green light. Hold your ground. Don't change your standards. You'll be able to do it. Okay? Let's see what is behind this guy. So look, things are going on behind the scenes. There's some manifesting happening. Ah, yeah. You got to face your fears. That's the thing. You've been really worried about this. And this is the Devil in reverse says, facing my fears. So you're going to have to face your fears to get over this. And then look, then we've got the good news. Another Page of Swords. That's somebody coming to you with some good news. Okay? So you just got to face those fears and keep on trucking. Don't change your standards. Don't let them talk you into that. Keep moving forward. Be a hard-nosed negotiator. Ooh, 17 is a lot. All right. Okay, guys. Deviant, try and catch me next time. Make sure you hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll know the next time I go live. But right now, I've already been here a while, a little over an hour. So it's time for me to get out of here for today. Thank you guys very much for being here. If you would like to support my channel with like some kind of donation because I helped you, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link down below. If you would like to support my channel by subscribing, by sharing, by putting a thumbs up so that other people can find me, I very much appreciate that. And I am kind of on a subscription drive. My channel that got shadow banned had over 8K people. I would like to get at least that high again on this one. And the faster, the better. Everyone have a fantastic day. Peace out. Where's my mouse?